We're in the gate.
He's not here. His son's still doing it. Nobody was here that day. Anyway, so then one of the horses pulled it back.
And they're off. All in the game, Turkey Bird on the extreme outside, and in between them, Tiger of the Sea is the quickest, and so the favorite takes over. It's Tiger of the Sea. Syntax moves up to take second. Turkey Bird third. Safely in fifth, 5 lengths off the lead. 2 clear of Pure Chaos on the inside of All in the Game as they head past the half-mile pole. That group followed by Apple Pie, who's caught 4 wide into the turn. The 2 trailers, Sibo and Adverse Selection is at the back. Around the far turn, and it's Tiger of the Sea leading the way by 2 over Syntax. Then Sally's Wish, Turkey Bird in fourth, followed by Pure Chaos, fifth and 4 lengths off the lead. Apple Pie trying to mount a wide bid, and Adverse Selection is starting to run while well back, but kicking into high gear with 1 furlong to go. Pure Chaos trying to find room in behind the 2, battling it out, Tiger of the Sea and Syntax, and Adverse Selection just keeps on rolling along with Apple Pie. Driving finish, 5 across the track. Apple Pie up in time. Pure Chaos ran a huge race. Also in that battle were Tiger of the Sea, Syntax, and Adverse Selection. They're in the gate. And they're off. Very even start. And it's Toppers at Seaside who will emerge with the early lead. Majestic Palisades is kicking through on the inside. Uubakakeo showing speed, and Mischief's Causeway is 1 from the outside as they move into the first turn. Then comes Mighty Kai. McGregor Lake is down at the rail, and outside of them, Damasio is 5 lengths off the lead. The gray is Mongolian Max, now right next to McGregor Lake, and the distant trailer, no early speed whatsoever from Mala. They swing on to the backstretch, and it's Toppers at Seaside. Leading the way, has it by a length and a half. Mischief's Causeway second. Uubakakeo in the clear on the outside third. Damasio is just behind him. And down at the rail, Majestic Palisades in the green. Here's McGregor Lake trying to make an early bid and doing just that, coming through a narrow opening on the rail, and is suddenly second, right on the heels of Toppers at Seaside, who has passed the half-mile pole in front. Here's Mighty Kai, and the favorite has 5 to make up. He's with the maroon and gold silks. Another 3 lengths back to the gray. Mongolian Max is there midway on the far turn. Mighty Kai trying to split rivals. Mongolian Max launching his bid. Extreme outside there at the top of the stretch. And Majestic Palisades has built up a 2.5, 3-length lead. Mighty Kai finding his best stride now and closing the gap. And on the outside, here's Mongolian Max. Past the 16th pole. Majestic Palisades, 2-length lead. Mighty Kai second. Cannot catch. Majestic Palisades, an upset winner under Armando Aguilar. Mighty Kai finished second. Then it was Mongolian Max and Uubakakeo. We're in the gate. And they're off. Smiling Tizzy, 3 Georges, Bally Hooligan joining the fray, but it is Maximus who's faster than all of them. And so Maximus will be the pace setter. 3 Georges now second. Our Conciliary is racing right next to Bally Hooligan. And at the rail, Magic Connection moves right into contention, taking third. Then Bazooka Charlie, Smiling Tizzy, another Monarch is in between those two. And 3 more to the trailer, Hondo Crouch. Half-mile left, Maximus to catch. Leads at a length and a half, a line of 3 behind. Magic Connection, Bally Hooligan, 3 Georges, deepest of all. Another couple, another Monarch making headway, but is very wide. Down at the rail comes Bazooka Charlie, and in between rivals is Our Conciliary. Smiling Tizzy is second to last. Hondo Crouch trying to get going. In some traffic now, angling to the outside, but picking up momentum as the field turns for home. It's Maximus in front, a length and a half, chased intently by Ballyhooligan second. At the rail, Bazooka Charlie out in the center of the track. Hondo Crouch is really starting to fly home. Coming fast is Hondo Crouch on the outside, past the 16th pole. It's Ballyhooligan at the rail. Bazooka Charlie takes off, and Hondo Crouch, here's the line. Ballyhooligan got there. Bazooka Charlie, along with Hondo Crouch and another Monarch. We're in the gate. And they're off. Soaring Angel and South Bay both have early interest. Here's Stuffy Mist coming through quickly along the inside, along with Umbrale. And those two will be 1-2 now, with Yours Sincerely down at the rail in fourth. Soaring Angel now back to fifth, joined by Eva Lee at the rail. Three more to Bourbon and Ginger, and Cosmic Heat is at the back of the field. It's Stuffy Mist past the half-mile pole, length and a half. Umbrale tracks from second. South Bay, Eva Lee side by side, and Yours Sincerely in between those two. Then comes Soaring Angel, 5 lengths off them, followed by Bourbon and Ginger, and Cosmic Heat continues to trail. It's Stuffy Mist coming to the quarter pole, maintaining the lead of a length and a half. Make it 2 now. In second, Umbrale, Yours Sincerely, white blinkers, angles out for the drive. And down at the rail, Eva Lee, there's 1 furlong left. Stuffy Mist. Here comes Yours Sincerely with a big run on the outside. And in between them, Umbrale. Yours Sincerely, Umbrale, Yours Sincerely. Puts him away late. Yours Sincerely wins by a half length. Umbrale second. Stuffy Mist third, then Cosmic Heat. In the gate. And they're off in the Las Flores Stakes. No bad beats. Thermal. Thermal is quickest and takes command. Magnificat is 3 lengths off of Thermal. Here's Margarita Girl coming through at the rail. 2 clear of Don't Tell Our Wives, and Udi is at the back. Down the back stretch, and it's Hector Berrios and Thermal carving out the fractions a length and a half. On the outside, No Bad Beats in second, followed by Margarita Girl. Magnificat is asked to get closer now with 3.5 to make up. A gap of 5 back to Don't Tell Our Wives, and 8 more to Udi. Less than 3/8 of a mile to go. Thermal, No Bad Beats within the next second. 3 more to Margarita Girl in third, followed by Magnificat, who's still 5 lengths off the lead. Shaken up now. Don't Tell Our Wives is next. And Udi is starting to run, but still far behind. They're inside the final 1/8 of a mile. And No Bad Beats takes the lead. Margarita Girl on the outside is chasing Thermal, and Udi on the inside has come alive in a big way, but it's Margarita Girl and Ricky Gonzalez. Margarita Girl pulls away to win by 2. No Bad Beats second. Udi kicked into high gear late, and then Magnificat battled it out for fourth with Thermal. Gets a little nudge. We've been from Living Life. And they're off. Clean start. And a very even one, several vying for command, including Spycatcher, joined by the very fast Balladeer on the outside. And so Balladeer will duel with Paxawallop, who's up and on the pace today, and Spycatcher is just behind them in third. Genius Jimmy racing in between horses, a joint fourth as they round the first turn. Then comes Gran Oriente, who's widest of all, now moving up to take fourth. Down at the rail, Bodhisattva is next, racing 2 lengths in front of Watsonville, Orcomoye between horses, the 2 trailers Henry Adams and Living Life. 10 lengths covers them down the back stretch, and it's Balladeer who gets the lead to himself. 3/4 of a length, Paxawallop in second. Then comes Spy Catcher, and on the outside, Gran Oriente is in fourth. Bodhisattva, Genius Jimmy is in between, trying to make some progress, a couple of lengths in front of Watsonville. That group is followed by Living Life, inside Orcomoye, and Henry Adams. Around the far turn, Balladeer, Paxawallop putting the pressure on him in second. 2 more lengths back to Skycatcher. On the inside, it's Genius Jimmy. Watsonville angling out for the drive. Down at the rail, Bodhisattva, Balladeer, Paxawallop, Genius Jimmy trying to find a racing spot. He now opts to go in between those two. On the outside, Watsonville is making steady headway. On the outside, Watsonville is coming fast. And here's Henry Adams from nowhere. Balladeer in the meantime still in front. Watsonville gets there. That's 3 for Umberto Rispoli. Balladeer, a hard-charging Henry Adams, and in behind that between Genius Jimmy and Paxawallop. They're in the gate. And they're off. Emirates Affair, No Cap has some early foot, and there goes Bolt Divine, and Bolt Divine is up to take the lead, but with some nice company in between. Emirates Affair is racing in between rivals, and No Cap down at the rail. So those 3 going at it. Arena's Charm is in fourth. Our Moonlight has settled off the pace, some 6 lengths off those 3 up top. Then comes Shared Future second to last, and Jensko at the back. No Cap moves into the far turn, opening up a length and a half suddenly on Bolt Divine and Emirates Affair. It's a gap of 4. Our Moonlight is hard-ridden, was just passed by Arena's Charm, who's firing. Arena's Charm fourth, and now only just 3 lengths off them, taking third midway on the far turn. Shared Future, Jensko still at the back, a 1/4 mile from home, and Arena's Charm with this sustained bid coming wide, but it probably doesn't matter as Arena's Charm has blown by the top pair, and now Our Moonlight is finding a stride, trying to move into second inside the 8th pole. Arena's Charm, 4-length lead. Bolt Divine, Our Moonlight continues to close, trying to get second. Shared Future late, but Arena's Charm sharp in victory. Scores by almost 4 lengths. Second went to Our Moonlight. It's a photo for third between a closing Shared Future and Bolt Divine. In the gate. And they're off in the Las Cienegas. Navy Bell is the first one out of the gate, joined immediately by Spicy Bug, and there are several with early speed, including Princesa Moche, who's up to take the lead. Queen Maxima, much closer than expected, down on the inside second. They're followed by Spicy Bug in third. It's another 2 lengths back to Omnipotent, racing 4 lengths off the lead with Rosie Jeeks outside of her. Then Egyptian Mound, Navy Bell, who broke well, is now toward the back of the field, passed now by Antiphona as they race down the hill. And that leaves Miss Lizzie at the back of the field. The lead belongs to Princesa Moche coming to the 1/4 pole. It's a narrow advantage as Queen Maxima is right alongside, and Spicy Bug a length behind that pair. Queen Maxima on the outside of Princesa Moche, and Queen Maxima is up to take the lead coming to the furlong pole. Behind them, Egyptian Mao is in third. They are followed by Spicy Bug, Miss Lizzie on the extreme outside. Queen Maxima is strutting her stuff past the 16th pole. And another terrific display from Queen Maxima to win the Las Ciénegas under Juan Hernandez. Princesa Moche was second, then Spicy Bug, and a battle between Navy Belle and Egyptian Mao. She's now 8 for 13, the brilliant Queen Maxima. The ninth, number 10 Old Timer make the jockey Diego Herrera 21. We're in the gate. And they're off. Bears board sprints clear at once. Saturday, hard ridden for early speed. A little crowding in the middle there as they move into the first turn. And it is Bears board who is able to get over to the inside, but here comes Old Timer, and Old Timer is a little bit faster up to take the lead. Cosmic Trail is just behind this pair in third. Kilmer now fourth. Saturday is fifth and 4 lengths off the lead. 2 clear of Trailblaze. Another Juanito toward the back of the field. A length and a half in front of Pick It Up, Golden Chaser, and 2 more to Autism Unity. Close to 15 lengths covers them. It's Old Timer leading past the 5/8 pole. Bears board hugs that rail still and comes right back for more. And Bears board has been intent to lead and gets his way coming to the half-mile pole. Old Timer is in second. Saturday one from the outside. Extreme outside Trailblaze and Cosmic Trail is just inside of that pair. Old Timer backing out of it. Then Kilmer next. Racing about a length in front of another Juanito. Ayuso gets after another Juanito who does respond and is picking up ground midway on the far turn. The back of the field, Golden Chaser, Pick It Up, and Autism Unity. It's Bears board with a quarter of a mile to go. 3-length lead on Trailblaze in second. Then Saturday and another Juanito. They're coming to the 8th pole. And Bears board keeps on going with a 3-length advantage. Trailblaze trying his best, chasing with determination. These two well clear of the rest. And it's Bears board who's been sharp from the moment the gate sprung. And it will be Bears board and Amisael Jaramillo to score by 3. Trailblaze second. Another Juanito up for third in front of Saturday. $1,000. We're in the gate. And they're off. Very even start. Egyptian Mistress is one of the first out of the gate. Essential Lady is in the mix. Here's Forced Entry coming through along the inside. And Forced Entry is now quickest of all and takes a narrow lead. Sugar Rain second. Essential Lady is a close-up third. Urock had a little bit of an awkward beginning. Is fourth now and 2 lengths off the pace. Surfin' USA inches up inside of her. Followed by Zuryara, 6 lengths off the leaders. Down at the rail comes Egyptian Mistress. She is followed by Struck by Her in between rivals, Bailarina outside of that pair, and another 2 back to Daring Pursuit. Midway on the far turn, Forced Entry, Sugar Rain right up alongside. Urock making a 4-wide bid after them. Essential Lady is 1 from the outside. And just in behind them, Zariah's looking for a spot, angling to the outside for the drive. They're in the final furlong. Wide open is an understatement as Urock is up to take the lead. On the outside here, Struck by Her coming fast. And Struck by Her is up to Urock. They're head and head for the wire. Struck by Her just in front. Struck by Her. Huge day for Rispoli. That's his 4th. Urock was second. Daring Pursuit came from out of the clouds to get 3rd. And several battling for the 4th spot, including Surfin' USA and Bailarina. Coming through.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to a 5-day week of racing. That's right, we race today through Holiday Monday, Martin Luther King Day. We've got great racing all weekend long. Of course, the marquee card will be on Saturday. That's because it's Cal Cup Day with 5 stake races. First post every day of those 5 days of racing is 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. Our seminar guest today generally needs no introduction. You've seen him on the seminar before. You can find his work on a daily basis at nationalturf.com. Many of the most prominent owners, trainers, bloodstock agents, jockey agents, and horse players rely on his workout report on a daily basis. He's our eyes and ears in the morning. His name, Andy Harrington. Andy, happy Thursday.
Hey.
Welcome to the seminar.
Thanks for the invite again.
Now, quite a swing in temperatures here. I should say, if you're from back east, kind of close your ears for a minute, because here in Southern California, it is summer in January. 80 degrees expected every single one of those 5 days this racing week. You were out here earlier this morning. That's not the case in the morning, Andy. It's probably around 40, 45 degrees when you get here before the crack of dawn.
It's mid-40s, so we have our sweatpants outside of our shorts, and then as we depart to the car and take off the sweatpants and spend the rest of the day, I think it's going to be in the 80s out here today.
Now, you had told me before we came on air that Thursdays, generally speaking, are kind of quiet on the work tab, and that was no exception today.
Yeah, it's the Wednesday and Thursday, just because of the way horses, they prepare about a week out their last drill before their race, and since we race largely on the weekends, as where the bigger cards are, Saturday, Sunday, they're preparing for the following Saturday and Sunday.
Now, you were here Saturday and Sunday this previous weekend. Maybe one or two workouts that stick out to you?
Yeah, there was there's a Tim Yakteen horse who broke its maiden on opening day here called Secured Freedom. It's a practical joke, 3-year-old colt. It did it really impressively, one in racehorse time, one going away. He'll absolutely get 2 turns. It was his second race. He worked over the weekend and it looked the same. He caught a lot of dirt. They did that purposely. Tim is really training this horse very hard. I think he'll show up in one of the stakes races for 3-year-olds here very early in the season. I think he's the real deal. So Secured Freedom is someone to pay attention to. He worked a 47 on the weekend. It was fantastic. There's also another 3-year-old that hasn't raced yet. He came over from Los Alamitos in the Bob Baffert barn. Worked one time over the dirt here last week, blew away a barn mate. The track was really deep that morning. And sometimes when the horses come from Los Alamitos, which is more of a glib surface, they get a little bogged down the first time they work on our more deep track, loose track, I guess I would call it. And this horse just floated over the top of it. His name is Duntov. It's a Maxfield colt, 3-year-old, just turned 3-year-old. So he should be, he had his first 5/8. My guess is he won't show up until the end of the month. I would guess maybe early February, maybe, somewhere in there, because Bob usually likes to make sure they're completely fit. And the horse hasn't worked 6 furlongs yet. So he's someone to pay attention to.
We don't know if he'll get to the Kentucky Derby, but if you have a good memory, you'll remember that Justify didn't debut until late January, mid-February of his 3-year-old campaign. So certainly the precedent has been there before for some of the Bob Baffert runners. A question for you, Andy. Of course, we had a lot of rain before the spectacular weather, and that interrupted the training pattern. Generally speaking, horses were still able to work on the training track. Since the start of the meet to now, which is a relatively small sample size, are horses running in the afternoon to your expectations, or are there some surprises based upon what you've seen in the morning?
No, I think it's a pretty consistent track from morning to afternoon. The worst track for a clocker and what I do is having a very fast track in the morning and everybody looks great, and then the track is deep in the afternoon and they're not fit or it's a different track. But so far you just want the same-ish track in the morning as you do in the afternoon. So far, I think it's been that way. They're very consistent. The way this track has been handled the last 3 or 4 years, actually.
One of the marquee races on opening day was the Malibu, and of course that was won by the now recently retired Goal Oriented. Coming into the race, you liked the way Goal Oriented was working.
Yeah, he's a really, really nice colt. They threw him into the fire last year. They put him in the Preakness early on, and I think it was his third race, something like that. And he came out of it with a big Malibu win. Too bad he was retired. I heard the plans were to take him back to Dubai and run those 2 races. And that's where the cookie crumbles.
And I mentioned the training track. track. I recall last meet during the spring when I had you on the seminar, Andy, you talked about how glib and fast the training track was. The times were really kind of abnormal being so fast. Has the training track now, since the start of this meet in the morning, toned down a little bit in terms of time, or is it still pretty glib?
I think so. I think it's gotten to be more of a normal surface. It's still, some horses just float over the top of it. My experience is when it caught a lot of rain, water the last couple weeks, and there was only like 4 or 5 days you could only train on the Tapeta. It got really soft and really hard to get through. I sort of ignored a lot of those drills. The horses, they were on a foreign surface because they were on the Tapeta, and then B, it was really soft and mushy. And I think now we're somewhere in a happy medium where it's dried out, but it has slowed down to some extent. There's not a lot of like monster last quarters like I was getting last year.
Many of the trainers were forced to go on the training track. They're actually on record in the daily racing form. Turf horses that they think couldn't stand up on the Tapeta track, they had to in order to keep the horses conditioning.
Oh yeah, no, I think the general consensus, if they have a choice, is their turf horses from Phil D'Amato to Baltas to anybody. They'll put their turf horses on the Tapeta. It just they don't sink into the deep dirt, and it just discourages turf horses mentally to work on a surface they're just not made for. So it's like running on soft sand, and mentally, I think it just kind of sours them to some extent.
The comparison I use, Andy, is volleyball players between beach and maybe inside the gymnasium, right? It's two different surfaces. Yeah. One volleyball player might excel on one surface. We see it in tennis as well, right. Clay versus dirt and grass and all that other stuff. So it kind of translates over to the equine community as well. Another question for you, Andy, completely on a different topic, and that would be your grading system for the workouts. You very rarely give an A-, you give an occasional B+ or a B. A lot of them are B- and Cs. How do you kind of determine, once you watch your work, what your grade is going to be? And maybe, let's just say, I'm just going to throw out a hypothetical. Maybe it's a team drill, and one of those horses got defeated by the horse you liked best in the team drill. Will you upgrade the workout grade as a result of the afternoon performance of a workmate?
Yes, definitely. I generally, with grading, I grade for the race. So, a horse under some pressure in a minute is a B drill in a maiden claimer on a Thursday afternoon. Sure. But under some pressure in a minute is a C drill in a Breeders' Cup Sprint. Everything's context. And just like any speed figure's context, is it a good speed figure? Well, it depends on the race. As far as like teams are concerned, I've gotten less horses that are two horses, and one is very good and one is not so good. And the one that loses, I don't get so I don't downgrade them that much as I used to. I've gotten, if they're over their head in company, and they lost a drill to a stakes horse, who cares? They're in a maiden 20. So I have gotten a lot more generous about not knocking horses who lose drills, even if it's a horse that's better than they are.
We definitely care who Andy Harrington likes on today's card. We're going to find out who his selections are in today's 9-race card. But before we do any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the early changes on a glorious Thursday here at Santa Anita.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the great race place. The track is fast, the turf is firm, and the rail on the turf is out 30 feet. Here are the early changes. No changes in the first. In the second, scratch number 4, Guaguarero. Race 3, number 4, Otramas, 1 pound over. Race 4, scratch number 5, Hot Rod Christine. The pick 6 starts with the 4th. Race 5, scratch numbers 10 and 11. The also eligibles are out. All turf pick 3 and late pick 5 start here. Race 6 is the first leg of the late pick 4. We have blinker notes. In the 7th, $3 late pick 3 wagering is offered. No changes. 8th starts the $5 late double. Just a blinker note there. And the 9th race will offer super high 5 wagering. Scratch 8 mall. Scratch 11 high king. Those are the early changes on today's program. Happy birthday to Nikki Pick 6 and up in heaven and my buddy Elon, who used to drive me here all the time at the Great Race Place. Coast to Coast Pick 5 starts with Gulfstream's 9th. $1 minimum, low 15% takeout. Sunset Pick 6 wagering offered. Last 3 of Gulfstream, last 3 from Santa Anita Park. So we have special Coast to Coast Pick 5 today with both Gulfstream and Santa Anita running. Normally, that wager, of course, is Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Back to Quigley's Corner we go. As special guest today from nationalturf.com, the one and only Andy Harrington.
Welcome back. We're talking to a smart individual. His name is Andy Harrington. He's the clocker for nationalturf.com. He's been on the seminar many times before. I'll tell you a couple other people who are smart. The 2 people who hit the pick 6 last Sunday, it paid $29,000. And the amount of the tickets that they bought, one individual bought it for $24, took home $29,000. The other individual bought it for $320, took home $29,000. So congratulations to those 2 very skilled horse players. We'll do it all again today with a fresh pool in the pick 6. And Andy, before we get to the pick 6, we kick things off in race number 1, offering 50-cent early pick 5 wagering. We're on the turf course, as you can see on the graphic. Naturally, we're fast and firm. The rails today are at 30 feet. We're sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the flat turf course in race 1 for $50,000 claimers. We've got a field of 7. The original morning line choice was down on the rail. Number 1, Beef Winslow at 2-1, but the one currently taking the action is number 5, Donchik, who is currently 9-5 on the morning line. 7 ways you can go here, Andy. Which way are you going and why?
We're going to go with the number 3 horse for our top pick, Central Dispatch. This is now a 6-year-old who's been off for a little more than a year. This horse has gone through its condition. It's non-winners too. So it's either go into stakes races, which it didn't handle before, or hit claimers. I think this is a pretty realistic spot. It's a gelding. It's now 6 years old. It's had 8 starts and is a 6-year-old. So they've had some stops and starts on this guy. He's a great looking horse. He's trained really well. He's been on the Tapeta surface, as we said before. Many of these turf horses prepare their comebacks for. Every drill's really good. Hector's been on him a couple times, Hector Barrios, that is. So there's not a huge amount of speed lined up in this thing. There's the horse right in his inside. It's a cinch from the Mendez barn. So I thought this horse would get a kind of a soft trip coming off the break. So we went with number 3, Central Dispatch, our top choice. Donchik, because this is an 8-year-old, such a neat horse. He just shows up every single time. In the morning, he's super enthusiastic. In the afternoon, he tries his utmost. He never cheats you. Just a wonderful, wonderful horse. He really, 2 back, he really ran, I thought, one of his best races ever. He was in the catbird seat in the back. Juan Hernandez wheeled him out, and he was gone. So this is somewhat a similar group. We're back into Claimerville. So I thought, I know that Donchik will give his very best, which is all you can ask for your $2 sometimes.
3 and 5 in race number 1. Just to follow up comment on Andy's top pick, number 3, Central Dispatch, courtesy of Brad Free in the racing form. The John Sadler barn with runners returning excess of 1 year. They're 9 for their last 39. That's a 23% win clip. So certainly John Sadler does well with these long layoff runners, which fits the category of Central Dispatch today. Let's turn the page, Andy. Take a look at race number 2. Begins the 50-cent early pick 4. This time we're sprinting on the main track. 6 furlongs, maiden claimers. $20,000 is the claiming tag. Scratch the 4, leaves us with a field of 6. Number 3, Singlemore, taking a big drop down in class for trainer Tim Yakteen, is the even money line favorite. Thumbs up or thumbs down on the favorite here?
Yeah, I didn't get cute. I went with the favorite. I could not, really go against him. He dueled sort of with Modus Bestia, who was the lead in Malibu till about the quarter pole. It was a very, very fast horse. The horse that ran second is Latitude. Hasn't broke his maiden yet, but is a very nice horse. I just thought this horse was naturally going to just wire this field. Even money's not my cup of tea, but if there's, exotics or, rolling things, I guess I would have to single the horse. So we're going with the 3, Singlemore. As a second choice, I went with the 6 horse, Brahms Mendelssohn. It's shown some speed against maiden Calbred allowance types. It's never been really, disgraced in the last few times. Now it draws outside. It'll show some speed in here. If the Tim Yakteen is not all he's cracked up to be, then maybe this horse can be right there. So the second choice would be the 6, Brahms Mendelssohn.
In race number 1, Andy talked about what a cool horse number 5 Doncic is. I'll up that one and tell him what a cool horse number 1 Jetovator is in race number 3. He's a 10-year-old gelding who has 7 lifetime victories, 6 of them over the San Diego turf course. And in race 3, where he is appearing, race 3 is a split of race 7. We're sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course. Calbred allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than a field of 7. Jetovator is the 9-5 morning line favorite. Rather than praise his glory, let's take a look at the replay for Jetovator, his last performance on November 28th. That's because the inside 3 horses in today's third race, Jetovator, Special Club, and Grazed, all competed in this same race on November 28th down at Del Mar. We want to watch the 2 grays. Jetovator, the winner of the race, will be wearing saddlecloth number 5. Grazed will be leading most of the race. He's going to be wearing saddlecloth number 10. What I want you to watch is once they pass the wire in this 5 furlong race, who actually has the most momentum despite Grazed being caught. You be the judge. So let's listen to Larry Comas describe the action back on November 28th and watch the 2 grays breaking from wearing saddlecloths, I should say, 5 and 10.
They're off. And it is Glorious Life and Jetovator. And on their outside, Grazed, it's these 3 out for the lead. And right behind them is Frank Bullet running along in 4th. Break of 3 lengths more back to Momo's Kiddo, who's 5th early and 5.5 lengths off the lead. Special Club is next by 2.5. Caught him, Minister Shane after that, and last of them all is McGregor Lake. Racing for the turn, and Grazed is opened up to lead by 2 over fellow gray Jetovator. Frank Bullet is 3rd of the outside. Glorious Life on the rail 4th with 3 lengths to make up and 3 back to Momo's Kiddo and Special Club. They're into the stretch, and it is Grazed to catch. Grazed comes down to the 8th pole. Jetovator, and on the outside, Frank Bullet. Glorious Life is down toward the rail. Still Grazed from Jetovator. Jetovator trying to come in at Grazed. These 2 down to the line together. Which gray will it be? It'll be Jetovator over Grazed, and then Glorious Life.
Andy, as we watch a little bit of the gallop here, take a look at who's in front once again. Grazed, you thought maybe he got tired at 5 furlongs. Maybe he's actually going to like 6 furlongs. I know you like Jetovator, but ironically, you like a layoff runner drawn on the outside.
Yeah, there's a horse called Bro who's on the outside of this field here. He bled in his last race, gave him plenty of time off. Really a monster draw on the Tapeta on December 22nd. I actually had the last quarter in like 22-1. It got some company, which I don't think they expected, and he really, really took off. He's getting a couple easy drills out of that work because I think they went so fast that day. But this horse is cut out to be a nice horse, and he's won twice on the grass. Draws outside. He's going against some horses like Jetovator, Grazed, who have got multiple wins. And, this is obviously a little bit of a step up, and he is a Calbred, but he couldn't be doing better. And against Umberto Rispoli, who was on him previous, before the layoff, that is. So I thought 7-2 was a reasonable price on an old Bro.
Fair enough. Let's take a look at race number 4. Andy begins the $2 pick 6. We kick things off in race 4, sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming 3-year-old fillies in for a $32,000 tag. One scratch the 5, leaves us with a field of 7. Number 3, Heavenly Princess from the Lee Baraccio barn, adding Lasix and Blinkers as the 3-1 morning line favorite. What say you about race 4?
You know, there's 2 Doug O'Neill droppers in here. The one I went to as my top choice is the outside horse with a horse called My Girl Mia, who had a terrible start, rushed up, dueled, and then had some trouble as they kind of like on the turn when it was tiring, and was not really persevered with by Antonio Fresu. It's trained okay. The drills are solid. Goes to Jaramillo, who is Tom Knust's jockey now, and oftentimes Tom Knust's riders get first call down in the Doug O'Neill barn, and so he opts to this one. So I thought there was enough speed in here. The outside post is really advantageous. My second choice is the other Doug O'Neill dropper, both coming out of maiden allowance races. This horse is called Mimetic, who did have some early trouble in that race, never really gotten on track, and then goes dropped down to 32, maiden 32 with Kyle Frey up. I think it's got more speed than it showed because it broke well, and then he just had to get taken up going the first 16th and didn't really show the kind of speed I think it has. So it's my second choice, Mimetic, from the Doug O'Neill barn in here.
It's all about Doug O'Neill. So says our seminar guest, Andy Harrington, in race number 4. He likes 8-2 best in race 4. Race number 5 begins 2 popular wagers, both the 50-cent late pick 5 as well as the $3 all turf pick 3 with a reduced 15% takeout. We're back on the turf course, this time 2 turns, 1 mile the distance, maiden special weight Calbred, 3-year-olds. Scratch the 2 also eligibles, 10 and 11 will not compete. Still leaves us with a good field of 9, including number 6, Columnist, who is taking the blinkers off for trainer Tim Yakteen, 5-2 on the morning line. Second morning line favorite so far in the card for Tim. Another winner here.
I was going to go with Columnist in here. It's run 2 big races, almost winning races. A horse called Third Beer, which is also in the Tim Yakteen barn, beat it 2 back, who subsequently ran in the Breeders' Cup turf, 2-year-old turf, and then came back and ran in a turf stakes last week. And then the next race, Unrivaled Time, who's from the Leonard Powell barn, who was also in a stakes race last weekend, beat it. So the blinkers off. Maybe it didn't see the other 2 guys coming. It ran winning races against good horses, so I thought Columnist would be pretty tough in here. It sticks to Mr. Arantes, the jock. My second choice is the one just inside of it, horse, a gray called Flash Lightning. She's not the biggest thing in the world, but both races were trouble-filled, and she kept trying all the way at the end, galloped out well. It does feel like a horse that wants to go 2 turns. Usually, sometimes with horses that are small or diminutive, I never worry about it if it's on the grass because it just doesn't hurt them very much. Sometimes when you're running long on the dirt, some of these more diminutive type horses have a little more difficult time when everybody else is like, 2 heads above them. So Flash Lightning would be my second choice in here.
Andy, let me ask you a follow-up question on number 1, Dark Blue, the son of Maxfield, who you mentioned earlier is the sire of one of Bob Baffert's unraced, newly turned 3-year-olds. There's a lot going on with Dark Blue in today's 5th race. Lasix goes on, blinkers go on, Reese Bully gets aboard. They go from sprint to route. I can tell you Dark Blue is a very big, imposing type of horse. When I saw him down in the paddock in late October, you give him any sort of a look in race 5?
You know what? Rispoli has been on 2 of the horses, and it seems he opts to this horse. I'm not sure if you never know the story, but it looks like he does. This horse gets outworked by everybody in the Mark and McCarthy barn. I don't think he can stand up on the dirt. Then the last drill, he beat kind of an average horse, but he beat him. That's the first time I've seen him beat anybody. And he had blinkers on that day. So maybe that was kind of a wake-up call. Sometimes, like you said, this horse is a large horse. It takes them a while to figure things out. They're not precocious. It takes them a while to work into their body. Maybe that last drill, like I said, I gave the horse kind of not so good grades until the last one, and then the last drill was good. And so, maybe the light went on. You never know.
And take note of the breeder, Jungle Racing LLC. That's the nom de plume for Jim Rome, the very famous sportscaster. Race number 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're sprinting the abbreviated sprint distance of 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Maiden claiming Calbred, $50,000 is the claiming tag, a good field of 8. Morning line favorite, number 6, Solo Gano from the Luis Mendez barn, 8-5 on the morning line. Before I get your thoughts on the race, Andy, you wanted to show a workout for number 3, Milbo Baggins, who is taking the blinkers off this afternoon. This was a team drill back on January 5th. This was during the rainy part of the winter here so far in Southern California. That's Milbo on the outside in this team drill. Why'd you want to show this work?
Well, one, it was one of the few horses that looked good on this surface, which was kind of soft, as I alluded to before. It had caught a lot of rain. Now, doing what this horse did, going 3 wide in the really super hairpin turns and just blowing away these 2 Phil D'Amato horses, both who I've seen train, they're pretty decent horses. You can see he might be twice the size of both of them. And then just goes clear. You give him a little rouse here, and he's clear. It's a pretty impressive drill. Going 3 wide on that turn is like going 9 wide on the clubhouse turn on a main track. It takes so much out of you, and this horse just kept going. It's always shown a little bit of ability. I like the blinkers off. Aggie Ordonez and Kent DeSormo have won some races recently. That's her go-to rider. So I thought there was kind of an interesting off the layoff. Like I said, the horse is an awfully good-looking horse. Is better than most maiden 50s that you'll see in a regular time.
You also give a little love to the runner drawn right outside, number 4, Sunk Cost Fallacy from the Mike Pipey barn. I watched that replay on debut on October 13th. It was better than looked, breaking from the rail. Certainly gathered momentum late. Perhaps this, coming back to the main track will help him. Why'd you like Sunk Cost Fallacy?
That was exactly it. The horse trained decently for his first race. I liked the way it galloped out in that race. I think maybe the Pipey barn thought, they got a little big for their britches and take a shot with maiden allowance. And it ran around the track. It just ran evenly. It didn't do anything. But if it runs back to that first race, I think it's got a big shot in here. So I think it drew the rail that day, which is never great for a first-time starter unless you got a lot of speed, and this horse doesn't. So I could see considerable improvement forthcoming.
As mentioned previously, race 7 is a split of race number 3. Race 7 also begins the late pick 3. It's a $3 minimum bet with a low 15% takeout. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the turf course in race 7 for Calbred. Allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than. Another good field of 8. Morning line favorite number 3, Berlin Wall, 9-5 on the morning line. First time turf for trainer Steve Knapp. Give us your thoughts on race 7.
Yeah, I couldn't go against Berlin Wall. The aforementioned goal-oriented this horse ran against in the Malibu. It really wasn't embarrassed too much. It was in the race, and then the last little bit, the rider just let him kind of ease out of there. Come back with a 47 bullet that was terrific. He's a really hard knocking horse. He never cheats it. Every effort is his best effort. I just think he's got this field over barrel. Obviously, the only caveat is this is grass, and the horse has never been on grass, so we will see. But I don't see any reason why it can't.
You also like a layoff runner, Andy, number 5, Irish Royalty, who is also from the Doug O'Neill barn. The Doug O'Neill barn running a number of layoff runners today. What'd you like about Irish Royalty's workouts in the morning?
You know what? I was a little confused at first. It's the best draw I have in the race. Back on December 8th, it worked 59 and change out of the gate. And actually I had 58 and 4 or something. Looked terrific. And then since then, they've tried to just give it easy solo drills. If he runs back to that drill, he's some of his best efforts fit with horses like this. I don't worry so much about horses coming off layoffs on the grass as far as fitness is concerned. You simply don't need to be as fit to run on the grass because most races are run in short bursts rather than you have to run the entire way on the dirt. The surface is obviously deeper. So I thought this horse should be plenty fit for this race. So basically I just took because of one really nice drill.
Race number 8 is for $8,000 claimers. Fillies and mares going 2 turns, 1 mile on the main track. We've got a field of 8. Number 6, Love Our Family, also turning off a layoff for Steve Knapp, who dipped in and reclaimed her a while back as the 9-5 morning line favorite. These type of races always puzzle me, Andy, because these horses come in and out of form so quickly. That's why they're at this level. Can you give us any help?
Yeah, I'm going to trust the outside horse in here and Jeff Mullins, who is just a wizard with getting the best out of whatever stock he has. This horse, they claimed it and then they sprinted it twice. So maybe they thought they could do a new gig with this horse and it was going to work. And now they drop it and in the 8,000. And the difference between 8,000 and 16 anywhere is a lot around the circuit.
So you can call it a circus too, Freudian slip, but keep going.
And the drills have been, easy. Adrian Escobedo has been working the horse. They're just typical drills for a bottom level, mare. They're never going to wow you, but the horse looks fine. And I always trust Jeff to get the best out of his horses. The other horse in here that I thought I had a shot was the inside this horse, the number 7 horse, Ryan's Girl, who's got tactical speed and always gives her best effort. This feels like her level these days. She's won, at this level 2 or 3 times in the last 3 or 4 or 5 races. So I thought those 2 horses would be tough in here.
We close out the day in race number 9, offering $1 super high 5 wagering, going 1 mile on the turf course. Calbred maiden special weights. We've got a field of 9 with 2 scratches. Scratch the 8 and the 11. That means one of the also eligibles, number 10, Irish Element, does draw into the race. The morning line favorite, the third on the card for trainer Tim Yachteen, is number 2, Hard to Be Better Now, who's 3-2 on the morning line. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Andy, I wanted to show a replay that a couple of these runners exit. This particular race was back on October 5th here at San Anita. The 2 runners we're going to watch are Big Bill and Straight Up Country. In this replay we're about to watch, Big Bill is going to break from post position number 2 and be wearing red silks. Just watch the type of trip Big Bill had. I would call it a very uncomfortable trip. Never really had any opportunity to run until late and was the beaten 4-5 favorite. Excuse me. The other runner I want you to watch in this replay is number 1, Straight Up Country. He breaks from the rail and basically is off to a slow start. We're going to watch the gallop out, because his gallop out coming down the lane that track announcer Frank Miramati caught was certainly something to behold. And now in career start number 2, Straight Up Country, is going to go sprint to route. So in this replay on October 5th, the 2 runners we're going to watch are breaking from the inside 2 post positions, and specifically there, Straight Up Country breaking from the rail and Big Bill breaking from post position number 2. Let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action.
And they're off, and High King is out very alertly. So is Sir Percival, who's now up to sprint clear and take over. P-Town Prancer came away in good order, takes second. And here's Roxy's Bad Boy, very quick along the inside, now right into third. That group is followed by Big Bill, who's racing just on the inside of Dane the Great, who's 6 lengths off the lead. In behind them comes Warm Sun and Brew. Tiger and You is just outside of him. At the rail, Water Tiger is next, and after a slow start, Straight Up Country is the distant trailer. Around the far turn, Sir Percival leads the way. P-Town Prancer a length back second. It's 3 more back to Roxy's Bad Boy. High King is next. Warm Sun and Brew. Big Bill is down at the rail. Behind them, Dane the Great and Water Tiger there at the top of the stretch. And Sir Percival has scampered well clear. 5-length lead, no dangers yet. On the inside, Big Bill is closing the gap in the final stages, but it's too little and too late. Sir Percival, that's 2 for Tyler Bays with an upset W. Tight photo, very close. Warm Sun and Brew.
Andy, we're going to watch the gallop out here for quite some time. That's Big Bill down on the rail, galloping out very well after a very uncomfortable trip. And take a look on the outside here, wearing saddle cloth number 1. We're going to continue to watch this. That's our friend Straight Up Country, who was 32-1 on debut. We're going to continue to watch here. And on the gallop out, he continues to show positive momentum. There he is right there. So a couple of hidden trips, in my opinion, for both Big Bill and Straight Up Country. That's my opinion. It looks like you agree on number 9, Straight Up Country.
Yeah, no, I like this horse going into that race. I didn't bet it because I just didn't have enough to go on, but it's trained great out of the race. The drill on the 27th on the training track, Pony Express is a Sadler Stakes Place horse. They got caught up together, and this horse outworked that horse rather easily. Pony Express is just in the middle of his comeback cycle, so maybe it's a forgiving drill for him. Then the last drill, Jaramillo gated the horse. It broke fine. I don't know what happened. It just, got first time starteritis and just stood there when the gates opened and broke slow. He's not a plug. So I think he can be, I don't think he's a lightning bolt, but I think he can have some tactical speed. Plus, obviously, the trip was notable. So that's who my first choice was, the 9, Straight Up Country. And The second choice in here, I went with Tim Yakteen's horse, who's the 3-2 favorite in here. It's run 2 really good races against solid horses. They threw it into a stakes race at Los Alamitos. It's 2 grass races. He's going to be thereabouts. He also drives up 2 wool and gets riskfully. He'll probably save every step of ground. So the second horse in here is the morning line choice. Hard to be better now.
Andy, there is one first-time starter in the field, and it's trained by Carla Gaines, whose horses always look impeccable in the paddock. She typically doesn't win first time out, but I'm referring to number 5, Ron Bayou, the 4-year-old son of Vronsky. Have you seen this horse on the training track in the mornings recently?
I've seen. I've got nothing to knock about the horse. My feeling is the horse can run. He feels 80%, 90% cranked up, and I'll watch one. I'll hope it'll get a trip that we can build off of. Could it win on talent? Yes. It would have to get the perfect of trips in there. And I think that both between Big Bill and Hard to Be Better Now, they're both pretty decent horses at this level. I don't think he can go over the top of them.
We always get a perfect trip whenever we have Andy Harrington as our seminar guest. Andy, thanks so much for the time and insight today.
Yeah.
Keep up the great work. If you want to see Andy's work on a daily basis, just visit nationalturf.com and you'll get his daily workout report, which is highly valued by most people around the racetrack, and you will become a better handicapper because of it. Before I let you go and continue handicapping, just a couple other wagers to remember. It's a daily sequence. The Coast to Coast Pick 5 starts today in Gulfstream Park, race number 9, $1 minimum, low 15% takeout, and the new $1 Sunset Pick 6 has been well received by the betting public as well. That combines the last 3 races at Gulfstream Park with the last 3 races here at St. Anita Park. Keep in mind we have live racing tomorrow. 8-race card begins at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. Until then, have a great afternoon, everybody, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Afternoon, welcome to the Great Race Place, Santa Anita Park. Track conditions are brought to you by John Deere. We are fast and firm with the rail on the turf out 30 feet. Here are the changes. Nothing new to report since 30 minutes ago. No changes in race 1, start of the early pick 5. In the second, scratch number 4, Guaguarero. In the third, number 4, Otra Mas will carry 1 pound over. The fourth race is the first leg of the $2 pick 6. Scratch number 5, Hot Rod Christine. In the fifth, late pick 5 and all turf pick 3 wagering offered. Scratch the also eligibles 10 and 11. In the sixth, first leg of the late pick 4, there are blinker notes. In the seventh, $3 late pick 3 wagering offered. There are no changes. In the eighth, start of the $5 late double, the 1 blinker note. And in race 9 with super high 5 wagering, scratch 8 mall, scratch 11 high king, the 10 draws in. There is a special coast to coast pick 5 today. Starts with Gulfstream's 9th in an hour and 20 minutes. $1 minimum, low 15% takeout, retail only. And the Sunset Pick 6 is a pick 6 wager, combining the last 3 races of Gulfstream Park and the last 3 from Santa Anita Park. Enjoy your day here at Santa Anita Park, where post time for the first is in 27 minutes at 12:30.